Hey you guys, so I'm gonna do a little video and commentary here of what I saw out there, and this is my version of it. And like there's 1,000 ways how to skin a cat, but this is how I go around the track and give you kind of a little bit of feedback what I saw out there. Many of you guys asked hey, what did you see and so forth, but I couldn't give always feedback at the moment. I said I need to look at the video better, and I did, and this is what I got. So here's the lap. When we start going around, here's turn one. So you come from the way outside where that marker is, that's your first, and the apex is right there where the A is, and you drift out and you get on the gas right at the apex. It's right here, a little power wheelie. You try to make this as almost like a line. You don't want to do too many zigzaggings. So I basically hit that line right there, come on the inside, almost hug, and then drift out a little bit normally. Drift out, and then I hit that A marker again and tight over here. So it's a straight line down to the bottom. You can really gut it. So then you brake, trail brake and turn, and then you hit your apex here. Missed it by a foot, and then drift out again, and then you can gun it. But you really want to stay on the left-hand side over here normally. You come all the way to the right and hit that last marker over there, start turning, and you want to stay on the left hand side over here. Come over here and then turn. There's a little dip in there, so you don't want to get too deep in there. Usually like a third gear here. Try to stay on the right hand side. Like you see, I didn't stay on the right hand, so I drifted into the inside a little bit. But back here, you should be almost a steady gas. You constantly increasing. I turn to the fourth gear normally about right here, and then start giving more gas. But you want to stay on the left hand side and really inside all the way to the cones, and then turn and hit that apex really good, because now you can start to really gun it and get up to about 140. And normally around these strips right there, I hit the brakes. So the next thing is, and what we're going to talk about is the straightaway and coming down to the straightaway. And on the straightaway, what you can see is a lot of guys at first, especially coming to the track, turn in too quick. You try to make that into almost a 90-degree turn instead of making it a straight, and then you really gun it, and then you just let your bike drift on out. And here's my example of when I come through it. And then you can see it that I have my butt already way out. And here's James. He does a good job. He drifts out. He's got his butt right here already to the left, and you can see how he is actually twisted to the side. And look at that position. Very nice. Paused it there. You can see him twist. Now these guys come over here, like Dylan's already on the right hand side, and neither one of Dylan or Tom is. They're not shifted over. And Cherise cuts it short. I don't see a body at all. She is straight up and down on that bike. She should have had her butt already mid-track, already moved to the side. Comes Tom again, really didn't let drift out. He's got a lot of power in that bike, but just he didn't utilize the whole track. So now I come out and trying to pull you guys out and say, hey, just come out. Got my butt to the side. Cherise is pretty much sitting on it. Trying to tell you guys to move all the way to the side when you drift out, and it makes more sense when you got more speed. And only you need to get over way to the right hand side. You're almost in the middle of the lane. Now here comes Ryan. He does really good. He comes, but the one thing he forgets, like you can see, everything went good except he does not move his rear end until he brakes. He brakes and then he moves over. You should move your rear end before you start braking. Ollie looks good, shifted to the side, but then he's on the middle of the road again. Cherise, I think once Cherise gets enough speed, she'll also drift out. She should have her butt to the side. Here I come again, look aside. Ryan does really good. He drifts out, and Ollie again, middle of the road. Comes Ollie, he's doing better. Yeah, now we're starting to get more into drifting out. But Ollie again, middle of the road, coming into the first turn. Here we go. Ryan did. That's a nice one. And no butt shifting. Okay, so next we're going to look at turn 1, and that is right after the straightaway. And here's Jim, and he starts from the way outside, and then he starts to tip in, and once he hits that apex, he's right where that A is. He starts opening up the throttle, and then slowly drifting out. And his body is still leaned over to the left-hand side until the bike is up. Here comes James. Nice body position. He hits that apex and gets right on the gas, and you can hear how the gas is just opened up just steadily. It's not an abrupt motion. Here he comes on actual speed. You can listen to that sound. That's pretty neat. So here comes Ryan. He drifts out, but once he sees the straightaway, he gets on the gas too aggressively. Here's Cherise, could have hit that apex closer. That was about 3-4 feet away. Yeah, same thing here. Pretty much same line. That James did a good one again. Pretty much. Tom was out about 6 feet from the apex. I have no idea where Ollie was. Ollie was doing outside to outside, and body posture could have been better. Cherise, pretty much the same, but look at that last guy go. That is fantastic. But anyways, yeah, the idea on those on a tight curve like this is to stay from the way outside, and then when you start to turn in, is you have your body already to the side, and you're leaning, not putting too much weight on the handlebars, and try to, when you have a good report card on your turn, is when you actually hit your apex. You can have your knee all the way out and hitting the painted section, but your tires on the apex could be a couple of inches off, so you don't hit that. I don't think none of us. I think James was the closest one to get to that painted area, and he was still off maybe a half of a foot or so. But it looked really good, and after the apex, open up your throttle. It should be just crack open, and it should be steady open, and should be very linear. Unlike Ryan did when he opened the gas, he opened up really aggressively while he was still leaned over. Luckily, there wasn't that much of a lean angle there. Otherwise, Ryan could have got into trouble real quick on that. And like you saw on James's version there, he kept his body leaned over as much as he could until the bike was completely stood up. And then he was already on full gas, and then he shifts his body to the middle if needed, because there might be another left. But in this case, he pretty much shifted his way to the middle. But yeah, those were pretty much it. What I'm going to do is next versions, I'm going to look at each person's that I kind of trailed and see your body position and what I saw, and I can give comments on those. But unfortunately, I don't have enough time to give the kudos. It's just the things I see of usually the improvement areas. And yeah, this is only my version. Thanks, guys.